Today I'm reviewing the Marantz Cinema 70S 7.2 channel home theater receiver, rated at about 50 W/7, with 4K/120Hz and 8K pass-through, built-in Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, HEOS multiroom, and support for Dolby Atmos and DTS. If you want to check current pricing or availability, it's linked below. I've used this receiver in a living room setup with a 5.1.2 speaker layout and a mix of movies, streaming content, and music. What follows reflects how it performs with real media and everyday use, not just the feature list. Let's set expectations early. This isn't a high current audiophile receiver or a monster home cinema amplifier. At around 50 W per channel, it's aimed at people who want immersive sound with dedicated speakers in a small to medium room, not who are trying to drive very inefficient floor standards at cinema level SPL. In real movie watching, Dolby Atmos and DTS content feel cohesive. You can sense height effects and surround layering when you have even modest elevation or Atmos speakers installed. Dialogue is generally clear once levels are set well, and you don't feel like action soundtracks bounce unpredictably between channels. It feels like a unified sound field rather than fuzzy channel hopping, which matters in longer sessions. With music, the Cinema 70S stays relatively neutral and calm. Acoustic tracks, jazz, and vocal forward mixes come through with clarity and detail without pushing an overly bright or exaggerated signature. If you enjoy a colored, bass-boosted sound out of the box, you'll usually achieve that by tuning in the receiver or via your speaker placement. That's not something this unit inherently adds. Handling of 4K/120 and 8K signals works smoothly in typical home setups. I didn't encounter odd signal drops or lock issues when switching between sources like 4K streaming players, gaming consoles, and Ultra HD Blu-ray. Once you configure HDMI routing, it stays stable and doesn't create distractions during playback. Networking features are thoughtful in everyday use. Built-in Wi-Fi and HEOS make streaming services and multi-room audio integration straightforward once you get past the initial setup. Bluetooth adds quick access from phones or tablets without needing deeper network configuration. Practical notes matter here. In longer movie nights, temperatures on the unit remain manageable. You don't feel it getting overly warm to the touch, and there isn't a noisy fan cycling aggressively. That's useful in living spaces where you want the sound, not the hardware, to be the focal point. The user interface and on-screen menus feel practical rather than flashy. They're structured in a way that lets you navigate inputs, set speaker distances, adjust crossovers, and handle calibration without confusion, but don't expect slick visual flourishes. This is about functionality more than show. Now, limitations are important to acknowledge. At 50 W per channel, this isn't a powerhouse if you're feeding very demanding speakers in a large room at high volume. If you aim for cinema level loudness or drive highly inefficient floor standards past average living room levels, you'll hit the limits of class ratings here. That's not a flaw so much as the nature of this performance tier. Similarly, the built-in HEOS and app control are convenient, but initial setup and network pairing take patience. Once configured, they work reliably, but the first-time experience isn't instant. This receiver makes the most sense for setups where you want immersive surround and Atmos at everyday volume, have a small to medium room with dedicated speakers, stream music, or